everybody, welcome back to Art Teacher Amy. Learn to draw with Art Teacher Amy. Hello, I am Art Teacher Amy and I've been doing this for 18 years and I love it, and I want to do a lesson with you today on how to draw a toucan. So just follow along, and at the end of this session you will have a beautiful toucan drawing. So supplies I mentioned in that last video. Again, you can take out your, if you have colored pencils at home, if you have markers, you can do some watercolors. If you have watercolors with watercolor paper, that looks really nice. And normally I do a little quiz about where do toucans live and what do they eat and all kinds of interesting facts. But because this is a little different than my usual classes, we're gonna skip the quiz. I'll just tell you that they do like to eat fruit and nuts, and they live in the rainforest, in the South American rainforest. And actually, one interesting thing about them, you would think that they are, how big would you think they are? Do you think they're about that big? Do you think they're about this big? Or like maybe this big? And it's funny because they are actually they're actually much smaller than we think they are. They're actually only about that big. So, okay, so you have your, hopefully you have some supplies with you. Like I said, if you have your bag, your art kit, and actually if you just like to draw at home, I don't know whether you keep your supplies in a little bin, or if you've drawn with me before, I just keep them in a Ziploc bag. That way I can put them on a shelf, grab them when I'm ready. So the other thing you need is your drawing paper. So again, do you have your watercolor? My favorite XL watercolor paper, or just a nice heavy drawing paper is good. Or if you can't get that, just a piece of paper will do. And you need a pencil, sharpened pencil, Sharpie. Okay, so let's draw some toucans. So here we go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna follow me step by step. I'm gonna draw this toucan on this piece of paper. So I love this method. It's a step-by-step method I learned 18 years ago when I lived in Seattle, and it's great. And after this video, I'll have some more videos. You can contact me, either post in the comment section, let me know what you want to learn to draw, or you can email me. All the information's on my website, which is artteacheramy.com. Okay, so here we go. What we're gonna do with our toucan here is we're gonna start with the curve. Well, you need a curve of a head. So now where are you gonna put that? Well, it's over in this section of the paper. So we're gonna start with this curve right here. All right, so we have a curve that goes up and over and down. And now we're gonna put in the eye. You're gonna do a circle and a circle inside. Next thing, we need the face to come down a little bit and give him a neck. And then the back of the neck here. Now, looks like a pretty funny toucan right now. But when you're done, it will look like a nice completed toucan sitting on a branch with some nice rainforest leaves, tropical flowers. All right, so behind the eye, we're gonna do a curve that starts from the front of the face. It goes back behind the eye and down like this. That's the yellow part that they have here. They're actually, well, they're yellow, some of them are white. Some of them, I like to have a lot of pictures around because I can't bring a toucan in here. So I love to have as many pictures and samples as I can so I can see the real colors, and it gives you a lot of ideas. Okay, so we have this little yellow shape here. Let's do the beak. Their beaks are actually as big as their body, if you can believe it. So their beaks are 6 inches long. Now in our drawing, we're not gonna measure 6 inches. I don't think we'll fit it. But if you measure your body like this with your fingers and turn it sideways, turn your fingers sideways, that's how long the nose is. Now I can't do that on here because this guy's too big. But your nose, if you take your finger from here to here, so measure, oh, we don't have a whole body. So anyway, just guess about how long you want your nose. And let me tell you, they're a lot longer than you think. So then we're gonna make a curve out to our dot, and we're gonna make a straight line over to there. Now we wanna put a line in the beak. And then they have these really interesting little black dots on their beak. They look like little triangles. And there's a few, they're like small and medium. So you're gonna have a little one, maybe a bigger one. So you're just putting little triangles on top of the beak. And then we have, I don't know, how about 4 or 5 of those? And then they're also on the bottom. And some of them seem to match up, some of them seem to just be random. So let's see, you can have a few here. Okay, now we're going to do, okay, let's do the rest of the body. So we're going to have a curve down and around. So why don't you take a guess about where you want to end your toucan. So take a look at this one, because your toucan is going to go pretty close to the bottom of your paper, but you do want to leave room for some feet and his tail. So I would say right about here. So give yourself a little dot. Oh, by the way, I would draw in pencil first and then trace in Sharpie. I'm actually doing it in Sharpie so you can see it. Okay, so we're going to curve around for the belly. And then you're going to curve for the back. And now we can finish that the yellow feathers on the front. So we're going to curve around here for the yellow. Now we need a little wing, which, because they're black, you actually don't see their wing that well, but it's over here. We can just start here. We're going to curve down to the side of the body. And if you want, you can put some little feathers in there if you feel like it. For my younger kids, my 5-year-olds, if any of this is hard, there's ways to simplify it. So, okay, you have some little legs, they're little legs and toes. Very interesting little toes. They have these curved little claws that hang on to the branches that they sit on. So we're gonna make these little zigzags. Funny, they have, I need that photo. They have these funny little zigzags on their legs. And then you're gonna have their toes, which you're gonna curve around. We're gonna put a branch in here. You're gonna curve down, make a point, and curve down, make a point, and come up. And same with this side. Curve down, make a point, curve down, make a point. Okay, so our toucan is on our branch. So we're gonna make a line coming out from the foot this way and this way. Come to your toe, jump over, go to your other foot, and jump. And this is gonna go all the way off the paper. And you know what I like to do is make it bumpy and skinny and bumpy. Best way to make a real looking branch rather than just making straight line, straight line. Okay, over on this side, we're going to have our hibiscus flower, tropical flower here. So we're gonna make a big curve around and another curve around. And we're gonna do that 4 times. If you want, you can do it 5. In the middle, you're gonna make some dots. And we're gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little lines coming out of the middle. Okay, we have our toucan, we have a branch, we have some flower, or we have a flower. Now we need to have some of these tropical leaves coming into our picture. So how about underneath the flower, we're gonna make some curving leaves that look like this. We're gonna go curve down and curve up. And I'm gonna put a line in there. And we're gonna curve down, curve up. And I'm gonna see if I can get one more, let's have one more over here. So again, for my younger kids, if this is too hard to make this shape, just go make a U. Make it a U instead. I know sometimes making the point is a little hard. And then for the older kids, if you're 11, 12, you love to draw, obviously there's more you can do with this. You can add a lot of details. In fact, this one I put up, like I said, I like to have all kinds of samples. So this one, maybe you want to have some leaves coming in this way, you want to have some over here, maybe you want to add another flower coming up off of here. So a lot of different ideas. There's a lot of ways you can either simplify it or make it more detailed. Okay, now you're at the flower. Come over, jump over your flower with your branch. So how do you do that to make sure you don't draw through your flower because it's not see-through? You're going to take your pen and just jump right over the flower like you were going to go through it, but don't. And that would finish off your branch. One thing I always forget with this toucan lesson is the tail, so let's do that now so we don't forget the tail. So he's sitting on this branch and his tail is actually going off behind it. So let's make a line come down. We can curve it a little bit. And you know what, let's do this. We're going to do some feathers here. So let's go down, curve over and up, and down, over and up. Down, over and up, and I'm going to make a skinny one there, and there we go. Well, you know what, I think we need one more here. All right, so how about some jungle leaves coming up from this corner? So these are long and thin. You're going to jump over your branch, you're going to make a point, come down, and we're going to do that again. Let's see, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4. How about 4 of those? So we're going to go up, jump, come down, and it can touch your first one. The other one can come up this way, jump, curve down, up, and curve down. That's supposed to jump that branch. And then you're going to put in straight lines here. Okay. Well, you know what? If you feel like it, how about another one? And this one can be hiding. So another term for that in art is overlapping. So you're going to have this one coming up and this one's going to kind of hide behind there, right? Okay. How about some leaves coming in up top here? If you want, again, here's another sample. This one has 3 different flowers with leaves. If you want to put some flowers in up here, or maybe you have a jungle vine coming down. I'm going to have I'm going to do these 3 big leaves here. So this is going to curve in and curve up. And if I'm going too fast, obviously, the good thing about YouTube is you can pause it, rewind, go back a little bit. So this one, let's see, we're going to put a curve in there. Now we're going to do another one. This one will be in front. So this one's overlapping. So so it's going to curve down, curve up, put a line in there. And we're going to make another one. So you're going to make a curve. And then this time you're only going to see the bottom part of that leaf. And I'm going to put a curve in there. Now we can put some these are called veins on the leaves. You can put some little veins coming off the side. And on our last one there, the veins are over there. Okay, now in this picture, I have another branch coming up. You can either make it a branch, it can be another vine. Maybe I'll make it more like a vine this time. So I'm going to start here in the corner. And we're going to take our pen or pencil, Sharpie or pencil, and you're going to make 2 lines, come up to your branch, jump over. Now, as you get close to your beak, you either want to stay over here, or you can go near your beak and jump over it, but you don't want to draw through it. Okay, so 5-year-olds, we're not drawing Don't draw on top of your beak. Okay, we could come up. You know what, I'm gonna have to jump the end of it. And then I'm gonna have it split off into a branch here. So let's go to the left. So bumpy skinny, a lot of you have recently taken a bunch of my winter classes and we did a lot of branches. Branches are bumpy, skinny, pointy. Bumpy, skinny, pointy. So you don't want to do two big fat lines coming down because that won't look realistic. Okay, off of my tape is bumping. Off of the branch, why don't we have some more tropical leaves? So we have a few more of these coming down. So again, you're just curving, curve up, and maybe there's one hiding over here. And we have some here. Again, we want it to look like the rainforest. Our toucan is hanging out in the rainforest. All right, and then if you want to try these, this is fun. These are just some little bamboo pieces. So you can make really skinny little lines. My little kids, I would say the rest is good. You could probably stop there. And then older kids, you can put in this little interesting bamboo, which are curving lines with little zigzags at the top of them. And I'm going to jump, and we'll go all the way down here. And then we'll do them this way. How about two straight lines, little zigzags, and straight, zigzag. Okay, there we go. So we have a toucan in the jungle. And the last thing you want to do, everybody, is sign your name small in the corner. So, and if you want to put the year, and go ahead and cap your, actually, if you drew in pencil, so now you want to trace in Sharpie. So go ahead and trace the whole thing. And you can erase any lines you didn't like. If you made the foot, you didn't like the foot, you can change the foot. And okay, so we can put our Sharpie away. I know you'll need a few minutes to Sharpie it, so go ahead and do that. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get out my markers. And again, this is a great one if all you have is markers right now at home, that's fine. If you have colored pencils, those look nice. You can actually use both of them. We could do markers on the toucan and then maybe some colored pencils on the leaves. So I have plenty of markers. I love art and I'm an art teacher, so I have everything here. We've got, I even have light green, dark green. So what you're gonna need for our toucan is definitely, if you just have a green marker, great. If you have a yellow marker, I would say pink or red for your flower. Oh, you're gonna need orange for the beak. And if you want the beak, you can either make all yellow with some orange like this one, or if you do happen to have a light green, if you want to get the set of assorted markers, they also come in the 10 count. It comes in bold or right here, let me yeah, so you can either get classic colors or assorted. In fact, I would suggest just picking up both of them if you're ordering from Amazon or Target. Again, Target has the best price that I know of. And then you'll get the light blue and the light green, which are nice to have. Oh, okay. And black, of course, for the toucan. And gray for the tail. Of course, the tail could be black, but it's nice if it's a little bit different color, just because then it separates it doesn't all blend together. So what I would start with is, if you do have the light green, you can do the light green around the eye. Now, I'm not gonna color the entire thing. That's gonna take a really long time and you will be really bored by the end of my video. So I'm just gonna show you where you can put your colors and then you keep going and then you'll have a beautiful toucan. All right, so we have some green around the eye here. Now you need your yellow. The yellow is going to be on the front of the bird. And now what I like to do with your markers is there's two ways to use these Crayola markers. You can either use them on the tip, so mom or dad or babysitter, whoever's watching with you, or maybe you're doing it on your own. Great tip. If you use your marker on the tip, you get a very thin line. So try to get, if you're doing this with your 5-year-old or even your 4-year-old can do this. And it's great for fine motor skills. So if you tilt your marker to the side, you'll get a fatter line. And of course, older kids, you probably know this already. Oh, and always make sure your cap is clicked tight. That way your markers do not dry out. All right, so now we have, let's see, I'm pretty much looking at this one over here. I'm gonna follow this guy. I like him. Him, her. Of course, you can always make it a she. Add your eyelashes. Okay, so now you have your black. Now just be careful with black with any medium. You're okay with colored pencils, but watercolor black, a lot of my students know we use black last or we don't use black. So, all right, your bird here is going to be black all the way down and around the head and onto the body. And for the most part then, you're not really gonna see the wing anymore. Okay, so your flower, you can have a red flower. And again, I like to outline it first. Or you can have a pink flower. Or you can have a little red mixed with pink in the middle. That looks nice. Okay, so then you can keep going here. Fill in your flower. Now you can move around to your leaves. And one thing with the leaves, if you're still using your markers, the whole thing can be in markers, which is fine. In fact, then if you do have colored pencils, you could just color pencil your sky. This one is a watercolor sample if you have watercolors. And this one is behind me is also a watercolor sample. With your leaves, what I'd like you to try is, leaves are not just green. They actually have the sunlight hitting them. So they usually are a little light green, a little dark green. Sometimes they have yellow on them. So what you can do with your leaves here is, if you want to make one side light green, and then the other side can be dark green. And down the middle here where the veins are. And again, I find it easier to fill in, to outline the area first and then fill it in, especially for the young kids. It gives them a space to fill in the whole area a little neater rather than scribbling it in. So don't scribble scrabble. We want it to look nice because it looks more real. So I could scribble up and down on my toucan, but it's not gonna look as realistic as if you take your time to fill it in. Okay, so the other thing, probably a little brown on your branches. if you are doing this in colored pencil, the nice thing about colored pencils, and I have a lot of those too, is you usually get brown, and then there's also tan, and there's always a tan somewhere. You can even put a little orange in your on your trees. Or one other thing that the kids have noticed this year with us doing so many branches is there's actually gray. Gray in trees, yes. So if you're doing this in colored pencil, we could do some brown. And I love to mix colors, so especially with colored pencils and oil pastels. Oil pastels blend really nicely. So here we have like a brown. We put a little tan in there. And then if you want to get really creative or just have a little fun here, you could have some, throw in a little orange, even a little yellow, just to give it some different shading, highlights, shadows. Okay. So there you go, keep going. So your other leaves, if you can get some different greens, whether you have your colored pencils with you, you can get your different greens on your leaves here. So you could have dark green, light green mixed together. The one thing I suggest is, because especially with this picture, you have a lot of green leaves. And if everything is the same exact color green, it tends to look a little boring. So maybe you want to do a little bit of yellow in here with a little light green. If you don't have that, if you really just have one green, then that's what you have. But if you can get, say, dark green, light green, and a yellow, even with your markers, just even green and yellow, mix those together, see how that looks. So if you mix your dark green and your light green, that looks nice. And you can even throw a little yellow on there. And now we have almost like the sunlight coming through here. Oh, so then the last thing for the beak, so you can do it in green with orange and yellow on here, like this one. You could also do it all in like yellow and orange, closer to like this one. Maybe yellow on top, orange on the bottom. So you have a lot of choices with that. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sure your toucans are gonna look beautiful. For the background, that would be the last thing after you do get everything colored. This one I did a light green chalk pastel, which I know you don't have, but if you do have some kind of a blue, light blue colored pencil, if all you have is your markers, you have your dark blue marker, you could also leave it white, or actually yellow would look really pretty. Something bright behind your toucan rather than just blue. It doesn't have to be blue sky all the time. There are a lot of colors in the morning, at night, you can have sunset. So thank you again for joining me, and I will be posting another video soon. So don't forget to click the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, and then hit the little bell for notifications of when I will be posting another lesson. I look forward to seeing you soon, and yep, keep busy with your drawing, and yeah, pick up some supplies if you get a chance from either Amazon or Target.com or Target the store, wherever you get a chance, and I'll see you soon. All right, thank you.